shadowy flight into the dangerous world of a man who is fearless. A young loner on a crusade to champion the cause in a world of reckless automobiles. These are my motovlogs.
Hey, what's up YouTube? This is your boy Chris, out on the Gold Wing. And today I have an announcement that I need to make to my Caliente viewers and subscribers that watches my channel. On next weekend, I will be in Washington D.C. for the weekend. That'll be the weekend of Memorial Day. So this coming Memorial Day, I will be in Washington D.C. for the weekend. Also, I will be in Lake George, New York. I plan to have a Caliente meet and greet at the Cardo Booth there at Americade up in Lake George, New York. And that will be Friday the 30th. Friday the 30th. You can meet up with me there in Lake George, New York. I'll be out on the Gold Wing there at Americade. That'll be Friday, May the 30th. I will be at the Cardo Booth from noon until 2 p.m. So for my viewers that live in the Northeast, my viewers that live in Canada, or for my viewers that watches my channel from all over the globe, I will be in Lake George, New York, out there at Americade, the bike rally there in Lake George, New York. I will be at the Cardo Booth. I'm gonna have a Caliente meet and greet for 2 hours there from 12 to noon on Friday the 30th for you guys that want to meet up with your boy Chris. So I plan on stretching this puppy out, riding on Michelins, and just seeing how everything handles with my Honda Gold Wing. I'm actually out here today testing out my new Uniden R4 long range extreme radar laser detector. If you guys missed the video of the unboxing, you can click on the link in the top corner. It walks you through the unboxing and what comes included with the Uniden R4 long range extreme radar detector. And I think it looks pretty cool. It's pretty stable the way I have it mounted. I actually mounted it using the hook and loop Velcro for easy removal and for easy access. You know, one of the comments that I got on the unboxing video is, Chris, do they make a waterproof radar detector? Is the R4 waterproof? To my knowledge, I don't think there's any radar detectors that's waterproof. I'm sure there are some brands out there where they sell these protective covers that you can put around or you can enclose your radar detector inside of. But to my knowledge, I don't think they make a waterproof radar detector. So I'm out here testing out my Uniden, and so far it handles pretty good sitting on the dash of the Honda Gold Wing. You know, I know the radar detector is not waterproof, but in the event that it starts raining, I could always remove it very easily and put it inside of my glove box in the event that it starts raining. So that's not a problem at all. I'm using the hook and loop Velcro to mount my radar detector. The last radar detector I used regular Velcro, and the only thing, the good part about that particular Velcro, that it held the radar detector on the bike, but when it was time to take it off when it's raining or if I wanted to watch the bike, I mean, it was on there good. I could get it off, but it was on there good. The thing I like about that hook and loop is that it holds it good, but you can actually take it off real easily. But it's a good day to be out on the Honda Gold Wing. The current temperature right now, I'm showing 89 degrees. 89 degrees, and you can tell, man, we're getting close to summer because it's getting toasty. So just make sure that if you're going to be riding your motorcycle, you want to make sure that you stay hydrated, because we're going to be getting into these hot months where it's really, really hot out. And that's why I have my 30-ounce Yeti cup inside of the Gold Strike big ass cup holder. I highly recommend that if you ride a motorcycle, if you don't have a cup holder mounted on your bike, I highly recommend the Gold Strike big ass cup holder. And the good thing about the Gold Strike big ass cup holder is that it'll fit on just more than 100 Gold Wings. I know it fits on Harleys. They also have a list of motorcycles that this thing will easily mount up to. So be sure to go to the Gold Strike website and pick up your big ass cup holder, man. You want to stay hydrated. This thing will hold a 20-ounce Yeti all the way up to a 30-ounce. As you can see, I got my ice in there, man. Everything is great. Staying hydrated. You know, this time of year, as it gets hotter, you want to make sure you stay hydrated on your motorcycle. So you need a good cup holder to hold your Gatorade or water or whatever you're drinking on your motorcycle to stay hydrated. I'm talking to you on my Cardo Pack Talk, and I'm wearing my Neotech, my Shoei. I love my HJC and I love my Shoei. They're both comfortable helmets. So I'm just out here cruising on the 100 Gold Wing. Hopefully I'll get a chance to see you guys on next weekend. I'll be up in Washington D.C. for the Memorial Day weekend, the ride they have for the veterans up there. So I plan on actually getting in on that ride as well. So if you guys want to meet up with me, I'm going to leave my telephone number in the description of the video. You guys could call or text me if you want to try to catch up with me. They're in Washington D.C. and I'm gonna make my way out. I leave D.C. I'll make my way up north towards New York. Plan on attending that Americade up there and being at the Cardo Booth. So y'all stay tuned to the channel for more information as it develops. So yeah, I'm just out here cruising, man, testing out everything. I got my Escapade trailer in tow, and it feels good. You know, I actually had to do some repairs on my cooler cover. You know, when I bought my trailer, it came with the cooler, and it came with the vinyl cover that actually covers the cooler, and my zipper ended up breaking. So I caught myself putting on some snaps and, you know, kind of temporary in that thing. But I just reached out to California Sidecar and I had them to send me another cooler cover, and all I had to do was just put on the snaps, get those snaps installed. So if you guys are wanting to know how to put on snaps to your leathers, to your vinyl, or to different materials, you can click on the link and I'll show you how to put the snaps on your vinyl leather or your cooler covers or whatever project you're working on. And it comes in really handy, man. You never know. So I got my cooler cover repaired because, man, this time of year it's gonna get toasty. You know, a lot of times people always ask, Chris, why you carry a trailer everywhere you go? One of the reasons is I got a cooler on this thing, man. I can put my sodas, my drinks, you know, I can pack anything I want to keep cold, you know, lunch meat, you know, whatever I want to keep cold, I can put it in my cooler, pour some ice on it. Because here's the thing, when you go into these convenience stores, man, they charging $3 for a drink, you know, $4 or whatever they're charging, depending on your location. So everything now is expensive. So what I generally do, I generally try to go to like Walmart or Kroger's or a wholesale store, and I'll pick up my Gatorade, I'll pick up bottled water, and I'll just keep it around the garage. And I just keep my cooler stocked. And when it's time to ride, I have my beverages right there with me. So when I stop for fuel, because, you know, on a motorcycle, that's the only thing you're limited to is fuel. So that forces you to stop at a convenience store. So when I stop to get fuel, I don't have to, you know, purchase their sodas. I don't have to purchase their Gatorade. I don't have to purchase their water. The thing I like about my trailer and my cooler the thing I like about it is that I can just carry my cold drinks and things like that in my cooler, and I don't have to pay those ridiculous prices. I just buy it in bulk at Walmart or at Sam's or Costco's or Kroger's or wherever I buy my liquids. And I'll put them in my cooler, man, and I save money that way. It's all about saving money. You know, I have a lot of riders that always say, man, you got to save up to ride with Chris. And that's not necessarily true. I just try to make some smart decisions. You know what I mean? I try to buy things, you know, when they're on sale. I try to buy things when I don't need it. So when it's time that I need it, I already have it, and I don't have to pay that ridiculous right now price. You know, it's like I buy my winter clothes in the summer. I buy my summer clothes in the winter. You know, I try to do little things to save money, because that's what it's all about, saving money. You know, that's one of the reasons that I put the fuel caddy inside of the Caliente garage. You know, I can buy my fuel at a discounted price, or if I catch it at a good price, I can put it in my fuel caddy, and when the price of fuel goes up, you know, I'll still have some fuel readily available that I didn't pay that high price for. So it's just little things like that, you know, where I try to save money and cut, you know, keep the cost down by just staying ahead of the curve. So you don't have to save up to ride with Caliente. Just try to make some smart decisions. That's what it's all about. Like working on your bike when you're not riding. You know, don't work on your bike on ride day. I've said this before, you'll be surprised of bikers, they want to get out on ride day and then they want to work on their bike and hold up the line. You know, that's not the time to work on your bike. Work on the bike when you're not riding. Work on the bike in your downtime. You know, grease those bearings on your trailer so you don't have a breakdown down the road because your bearing seized up because you failed to put grease in your bearings. Change your fluids. Run your maintenance. Change your plugs. Change your air filter. I know one rider that says that he hadn't changed his air filter since he bought his Gold Wing back in 2008. Can you imagine not changing your air filter for almost 20 years? Not to say that you can't have an issue on the road, but try to do everything that you can do to prevent a breakdown. You know, be proactive, not reactive. It's things like that. You know, you want to have a good riding experience. You don't want your bike breaking down and holding up the line because you failed to do maintenance. You know, you can do everything you can to try to keep the bike maintained, and you can have a breakdown, but you want to at least minimize the probability, or you want to minimize the chances of something happening. Be proactive, not reactive. So I'm just out here cruising, trying to get my ride in, as always. Testing out these Michelins. So far, the Michelins feel real good, y'all. It's almost like I had to get reacclimated to learning how to ride on motorcycle tires, because that car tire, man, it sets you up. And the good thing about that, you don't have to do a lot of balancing. I mean, you have to balance, but not as much. Whereas the motorcycle tires, you're always trying to balance. You're using muscles that you didn't even know you had. So there's always an advantage and disadvantages to everything. But so far, I like the way the Michelins feel. I plan to stretch these puppies out, see how it handles with the trailer, see how it handles over the road. I'm not trying to compare them to a car tire, but I just want to see what kind of use that I get, and to see how these Michelins handle on the highway, especially on a long distance trip. But so far, I'm impressed. Feels real good. Feels real good. I got my bike pretty much where I want it, fully accessorized, not a lot of noise with the exhaust. I love the quietness. The only thing I want to hear is that wind rushing past my helmet. And so far, I like it. But yeah, I'm testing out my Uniden R4 Extreme long range detector. Man, it has a lot of features inside of that menu. It's gonna take me a while to learn all of that stuff, man. It's a lot to that radar detector. But one of the reasons that I actually keep a radar detector on my bike is not because I speed. I just like the way it looks. It looks cool, man, you know, but I'm rarely speeding. You know, my rule of thumb is just try to leave early. If you leave early, you don't have to speed. You don't have to risk getting a ticket. That's what I try to do. I just try to leave early. Sometimes, you know, you're late, but I don't just generally speed. So that's not like that's something I need. But I like the way that it looks. And the last radar detector that I had on my bike, I just wanted to update it. I wanted to upgrade to something newer, something better. That last Cobra that I had, it actually worked pretty good, all things considering. When it rained, I just take it off and put it in my glove box. When it's nice and bright and it's not raining, I'll put it back on the dash. So it is totally removable. But this thing is pretty nice. It's not moving at highway speeds. I have it mounted. I can pull it right off in the event if it starts raining, or if I go into a restaurant or something, I can just take it off and put it in my trunk, or, you know, secure it so somebody don't walk off with it. And so far it works pretty good. And last but not least, it's actually, I could actually interchange this thing between my cars and my bike. It came with like 2 power cables. It came with a windshield mount, so I could actually toggle this thing between my other vehicles if I wanted to. But I got a lot to learn. I'll keep you guys posted. Maybe I'll do a later review and let you guys know how this thing actually works. Let you know what kind of use I get out of it, and let you know what I think about it over the long term. So I'm not going to take up any more of your time. I just wanted to get with you guys and let you guys know that on next weekend, I'll be in Washington, D.C. for the Memorial Day weekend. And then that following Friday, which would be May the 30th, I'll be at Cardo. I'll be at the Cardo Booth for a Caliente meet and greet. They're at the Cardo Booth from 12 p.m. or 12 noon to 2 p.m., 2 hours. You know, a lot of times you guys always say, Chris, man, if I would have known you was coming, I would have met up with you. Well, now this is going to be your opportunity. I've done a meetup in California. I've done meetups in Texas. I've done meetups in Oklahoma. I've done meetups in Memphis, Tennessee. I've done meetups in Indianapolis, Indiana. Next, I'm going to do a meetup there at Cardo, out there at Lake George, New York, at the Americade Bike Rally. May the 30th, from 12 noon to 2 p.m. Come on out and holler at your boy Chris. Come on out and pick up a Cardo, the best motorcycle helmet communicator on the market, the Cardo Pack Talk. This is your boy Chris, out on the Gold Wing, the most technologically advanced motorcycle in the world, the Honda Gold Wing, the DCT. And I'll talk to you guys later. Deuces.